So, Forget-Me-Nots, probably the most misplayed bass cover that I've seen on YouTube, because the hardest thing about it, like, it's secret, obviously, are those 6 thumb slaps in a row that Freddy Washington does. It's just ridiculous. I'll turn myself up. Yeah, those 6 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I never play that. I mean, I don't do a lot of slap pyrotechnics usually. And if I do, I tend to use my fingers for plucking things more. So like stuff like I use my fingers a lot. Maybe a little bit of, and left hand, you know. But that 5 thumbs in a row, it's really took me a long time to get used to that. And it really bugs me that people are teaching this tune without that, because that is really what makes the groove. It's so up on top of it. And you can't get that same feel if you do that line as a hammer-on type of thing. Like, a lot of people go like that, or things like that, or I used to use my fingers, something like that. But it's got to be the ga-da-ga-da-ga-da. So, how did I get it up to speed? I couldn't do this a couple of weeks ago. I was teaching it to a student in a lesson and I couldn't even do it because I never played that. It's like that technique is atrophied. It's not something I ever do. Watching the videos of Freddy doing it, he really does it just with his thumb, like he's super relaxed. I don't know if he uses a P-bass on the original track, but he definitely uses a P-bass on all the videos I've found. He's famous for his old Ken Smith, obviously, but with all his Patrice Rushen stuff, he seems to be using a P-bass. And it's really gained up. That's one thing that I got from it. New strings, super gained up, not the sort of sound you usually associate with a P-bass. In fact, this jazz bass with the old strings on it probably sounds more like a traditional P-bass when you solo just the front pickup. But I wanted to play the lesson on this bass and not my MTD, just because it is a different sound. It's that kind of splatty slap sound. So what I did to try to get this technique up to speed is I broke it down and I just focused on it. And I looked at what I wasn't able to do. And what I wasn't able to do was generate enough accuracy just with my thumb. Like, if I do typical thumbing thing, it might be 1 thumb or 2. So I'm fine as long as I can break it up, and that's, I think, the same is true for most people. That's why when they do this tune, they usually put a hammer-on in there. So that wasn't going to work. I did muck around just trying to, and I wasn't getting there. So what I started to do over the last few weeks is put in a bit of an arm action. A most unsubtle example would be just to go, you know. So every time I got to that line, you know, it's almost like a different technique, as opposed to just twisting the thumb. Almost hammering the hand into the bass. But interestingly enough, while I was recording this just now, after weeks of playing with this kind of arm action, I did find I could dial it back and actually do it just with a more typical slap action. And as the tune went on, occasionally I used the arm when I could feel that I wasn't pulling it off. So just sort of a blend of thumb and bringing that arm, more of an arm action in there. So I guess that would be, to me, that's the secret of this tune, is trying to master those those 6 slaps in a row. Let me know how you do it. But that was my solution, was to use bigger movements, like an arm movement, and then it's now kind of blended back into more of a traditional technique. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to break it down too much because I'll give you the manuscript. The manuscript will be available online. There'll be a link in the description. But very briefly, the tune is in F sharp Aeolian. The main groove, I'm not including the little ghost notes and stuff here and there. The main groove is octaves on F sharp, so that's the 2nd fret of the E string. And then it goes to octaves on D, which is the 5th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the G string. And then up to the 7th fret of A, E. And then down to the 4th fret of A, C sharp. So that's the sort of the skeleton of the groove. With passing notes. But as long as you get that, if you're a beginner, I would just focus on getting those octaves. Octave on F sharp, octave on D, then single note on the E and on the C sharp. Just focus on that. A lot of the times you'll find that you'll feel the same intuitive ghost notes as the original player. What's interesting about this tune is that the ghost notes he's using are open strings. So open A. Okay? The other thing about this groove is short notes, long notes where appropriate. That's what really makes this groove, is the staccato notes. So short, long, and then short, long, short, short, short. The other thing that this bass line does, that's a really cool example, is call and response. A lot of the great bass lines, if you think about, the Motown bass lines, they are a call and response concept. So you have the first 2 measures of this 4-bar groove are like a call, or even a question, some might say. So and then there's a response to that, which is a variation. So and that's where that thing happens. Or depending on what technique you want to use. That is the meat of the chorus groove. So it's all centering around this Aeolian thing, starting on the tonic, F sharp minor. The verse kind of twists it on its head, and the verse starts on the D, which is the major 7 chord in the minor key, the flat 6 of the scale. So the flat 6 of F sharp Aeolian is that D there. So it starts out on D, to E, C sharp again, F sharp. So again, a note for beginners, you can just focus on the octave on that D, so the 5th fret of the A string to the 7th fret of the G string, yeah, and then up to the E, 7th fret of the A string, and then the 4th fret of A, the C sharp. That's sort of like, again, that's not all the notes, but that's sort of the meat and potatoes. Yeah. And then again, just riffing on that F sharp for 2 bars. I'm not going to break it down to its smallest components. There will be a chart available for you. If you have any questions, you can always contact me via YouTube. That's pretty much it. What's kind of cool about this tuning is there's a random key change for that breakdown. It's not set up, it's not functional. They just go straight into this E minor thing. That's after, oh, he does a sick fill, like about halfway through. So simple, but where he puts it makes it sound so good. Or probably even more note than that. You can hear that I'm still choking a bit on that higher bit, that faster thumb thing. That's really cool. Going into this breakdown, he just misses out on the downbeat. Like, totally, only time in the tune he does it. And so here we're in E minor for 8 bars. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's Forget Me Nots. That's the essence of the tune. I don't know, I think it might be time for me to upload a Chili Peppers tune. What do you reckon? We're going all classic mainstream bass on you. Also, I'm going to be uploading some videos of just some news. There's been some concert footage of projects I'm involved with, so I might put up a few videos of that stuff if you don't mind indulging me. I hope everyone's cool. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks with what's happening in the world. Actually, I might use this little opportunity just to read something I wrote. I had a few thoughts about this stuff, about what happened in Nice and all these crazy things. Okay, this is just something I wrote after what happened in Nice. I was on tour up in central Queensland. I don't know about you guys, I'm worn out. I'm worn out with all this stuff. I think the world is weary. And a very natural response is to... well, basically there's two things happening in the world. There's this persistent force of people who have a violent agenda, and then there's people who, out of their own goodwill, are trying to remain as open as possible and, I guess, suppressing and censoring open criticism of the motives of these violent people, and that's provoking almost a right-wing response, and I'm as worried about that right-wing response as I am about the violent few committing these acts. I just wanted to read you this. This is something I just wrote. Very short, Facebook post. Thoughts about Nice, an ode to musicians. Before Muhammad, there was music. Before Jesus of Nazareth, there was music. Before the Upanishads, King Solomon, Socrates, and the fabled Mayans, there was music. The universe started with a sound, the only language of no affect, not bound by arbitrary symbolism. Music slices through the adornments of a designed mind and reaches the pure essence of the ridiculousness of all this posturing. We are one. All else is a lie. Deliver your sermon, my fellow priests of music. Declare your message to the world. Speak in the one true mother tongue, the language of sound. Anyway, I hope everyone's well. Take care. Peace.